Honestly, I think the most pure, beautiful thing is a young girl that signs up to skate, falls in love with the sport, and wants to follow her dreams and then do this as a career path. We don't want anyone to be deterred from falling in love with the sport and saying, it's not a sustainable career path for me, I can't do that. If she's good enough, we want her to be here, we want her to fill our skates. I can't think of a more beautiful journey for somebody to have limited, if zero barriers, to get into the sport and to see it fully through. Hilary Knight, 34, I think, and I play ice hockey. I got into hockey on accident. Our family moved from the West Coast to the Midwest and from a huge ski family. My mom was just trying to figure out a way for my brothers and I to meet friends in the community. And someone suggested to her, you better get them on skates. And so we got on skates, and then sure enough, all the gear comes along and it just hooks you. It is such a hard sport. Because it's so hard, there's that rally amongst teammates and peers. You're showing up to do your best, and it's a game about minimizing mistakes. So everyone's gonna make mistakes, and you have to figure out how to work through those mistakes together. That's just what I love about it. Every single time you walk, through the gate onto the ice, there's always something to learn. There's been a handful of different league iterations. When one of the leagues folded, we felt as a group of players compelled to try and fill the gap of the resources, the programming, to then hopefully find a sustainable solution at the professional level and have it fully pro. We were able to come together in the prime of our careers to say, we deserve better, and if we can't find it, we're gonna build it. We launched a PWHL to help support the players. We were able to hire a consulting firm to develop a business plan for us to then go out and find the right partner to really see this thing all the way through. We were able to do this all on the backs of players with the help of Mark Walter, Kimba Group, and Billie Jean King. Billie Jean King was a part of our story from the beginning. When things went south, she was the first call. I'll never forget sitting next to Kendall on the bus, calling her while we're on our way to Finland to go compete for Team USA in the World Championships, saying, we need to figure this out. And sure enough, she's been by our side, continued to be an inspiration, but an actionable figure in making the future a better place for women's hockey specifically as well. We had a huge hand in what you see today as the PWHL, but the bumps and bruises along the way were tremendous. Just the amount of time it took, the burden of players having to shoulder that responsibility of building this thing. It takes a lot of time. And so there's a lot of stress that goes along with the uncertainty of, where's the game? Are we gonna play? Are we ever gonna have a professional league? And that's why when we get out there, it's a full circle moment. We were able to do this, and it wasn't without any of, the blood, sweat, and tears from the people that were involved. Our story isn't unsimilar to any other women competing in sport, which is unfortunate, but on the flip side, it's extremely exciting that we get to create and build, and we're the visionaries of our future. I think we have a really unique opportunity to introduce more people to a sport that for many years has been extremely insulated. And I can't think of a better time for women in sport, and specifically women's ice hockey, to be at the forefront. I never thought that my journey would officially take me back to the East Coast. I was nicely settled in Minnesota, and when the teams were finalized, the locations were finalized, I was like, what about Boston? That would be great to go back. I was able to sign out here and then sort of pack up the house and move on out here. I love it out here. It feels like home.
And your captain, number 21, Hilary Knight.
Being a captain is a huge honor. To be, officially recognized as the leader of a team who's, in charge of the legacy that this is leaving in this amazing city, to be a part of other legacies that have already been written in the city. is pretty incredible, so it's a huge honor. The IHF Player of the Year award was crazy. It's the first one. I think it's well overdue. There's obviously a lot of talent you could choose, especially on the world stage, and so it's a huge honor. It's also a surprise because I'm like, wait, we have an award now? Like, that's awesome. I hope more weight has continued to be placed on behind that award publicly, and all the buzz continues to grow around the award as well. Winning a gold medal at the Olympics is like, nothing really comes close to that, right? That's like where you stamped everything, you checked every single box. To do it 20 years after the first Olympic gold for the United States was very full circle for us, and it also validates our journey as well in many ways to be remembered as that team. So the challenging part is we didn't have an NHL, right? The guys have the NHL. We see the experience, we hear about the experience, but we've never had it. We felt that we needed certain things to be able to honestly compete against them. And so we pushed for a lot of those things. In the same sentence, not knowing specifically what we needed. So that was sort of the tricky part, is saying, okay, like, this is what we think we need. We know that the guys get this. We need more. We want to be that team for you. We want to be that team for America, but we can't be that team right now because we don't have the resources that we need to be that team. From there, we found a lot of success and obviously went on to win a world championship and then win a gold medal at the Olympics. So that was pretty incredible. And having that feeling of just like, we can do anything. I'll never forget that feeling. I hope many other women can experience that empowerment as well. People don't know about hockey, right? Like, there's the NHL and they have, tons of followers and fans, but there's so many people that don't know and haven't been introduced to this sport. And I feel like we have a really unique opportunity to be able to storytell and be that conduit to the sport. And through that, I hope they become lifelong fans. Not everyone's gonna see your vision, and very few are gonna believe in you. And you just have to be so convicted and make sure your support group is like airtight, and go out there and torch your path. I'd say the biggest thing for us in my experience has been leaning on other people who have done it, because at the end of the day, it's like the same journey, just a little bit different. I want to be remembered as, a great competitor on the ice and a builder and a visionary off the ice. I fell in love with this sport because of the way it made me feel, the way I could compete, the way the rest of the world could just roll off my shoulders once I got into the rink or into the arena. And it's taken me on this wild ride. Honestly, guys, we have a family here. It's a second home here in Boston, and it's been incredible. From the 6 weeks that we had to put our heads down and grind this out to a home win, I mean, it's just awesome. As we get going, the little things matter, and I can't name better people in this room than to do this with. So thank you very much, and have a great off time. Yeah. Did I ever think we were gonna do all these crazy, wild things? No. But my dream was to play hockey at the Olympics. And at the time, women's hockey wasn't in the Olympics. And so I think there's just something so fascinating and encouraging about following your dreams and having a plan to figure out how you're gonna get there. Dare to dream.